Rounds of strong and severe thunderstorms making their way across central and eastern Kentucky. We're tracking the potential for isolated tornadoes just ahead.
Also ahead, he just graduated from the Kentucky State Police Academy 6 months ago. Today, the trooper was laid to rest in his hometown. We're in Anderson County for his final farewell. And tragedy strikes a family on vacation in South Carolina. How a Lexington mother who drowned in the ocean is being remembered.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. A tornado watch is in effect for much of central and eastern Kentucky. That's why today is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Here's a live look at downtown Lexington where a storm is approaching. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking storms right now on First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, Jennifer, coming at us in waves this afternoon yet again, and we have just enough spin in the atmosphere, especially across north central and northeastern Kentucky, for maybe a little brief spin up of a tornado. As tornado watch has been posted until 9 o'clock this evening. This does include most of central and eastern Kentucky. Far southern, far southeastern Kentucky were not included in that. Only one warning out there right now. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Lewis County. That includes the Vanceburg area, though the strongest storms are bearing down across parts of the Bluegrass region as we speak. From Mount Olivet into Robertson County, back to the west into parts of Cynthiana, Harrison County, Owenton, and Point South from there. Just to the east of Sadeville, between Sadeville and the Cynthiana area, look at this complex of thunderstorms. You can get a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain in an hour from these storms that are out there. So in addition to the severe weather threat, we got to be on guard for the possibility of some stream and street flooding. Thunderstorm, strongest storm is just to the west of Lawrenceburg as of right now. This is really going to cause some issues across Lawrenceburg in the form of some very heavy rains and a lot of lightning. Watch out for some power hits across Anderson County into the Versailles area. Strongest part of this storm is, again, just to the west of downtown Lawrenceburg. Another very intense thunderstorm on top of Georgetown as of now. Thunder and lightning with that one. Lexington Metro, at least downtown Lexington, we're okay for now. That'll change up soon enough. Other thunderstorms cranking across southern and southeastern Kentucky, and that is a sign of things to come. We put everything in motion. Watch how quickly those storms are blowing up, and the strongest storms are right on top of the Lexington Metro as of now. Even out ahead of that main round of storms are packing a lot of heavy rain. WKYT weather watcher Aaron Walker out of Winchester showing this heavy rain producing thunderstorm that is right on top of Clark County. Jennifer, that's going to be the cause for concern. Yes, we have a tornado watch, but these storms are very efficient rainfall producers, so some local flash flooding a possibility over the next several hours.
We'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, Chris. A final farewell today to a Kentucky State Police trooper who died in the line of duty. Family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers were in Anderson County earlier today for the funeral for Trooper Eric Chrisman. The 23-year-old died last week when his cruiser hit a semi in western Kentucky. WKYT's Victor Puente shows us how Chrisman was remembered today. It's our top story at 4.
Hundreds of troopers, officers, and deputies from across the country came to Lawrenceburg this afternoon for the funeral of a trooper who'd only been on the job a couple of months. Kentucky State Police Trooper Eric Chrisman graduated from the academy in January. After 12 weeks of in-the-field training, he was on his own for just a couple of months. And last week, he was responding to a call of a reckless driver near the Marshall-Livingston County lines when his cruiser hydroplaned and he crossed into the opposite lane into the path of a tractor-trailer. The 23-year-old was from Anderson County and comes from a family of police and firefighters. Along with those who attended his funeral, dozens of people lined the streets of Lawrenceburg to pay their respects as his procession made its way through the town.
Send my comfort, praying for comfort for his family and his mom and dad. So, and trying to show her that sometimes we have to take time to mourn with others sometimes.
In addition to his family, his graduating class from the academy was by the graveside for his burial this afternoon. In Anderson County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Trooper Chrisman was buried at Sand Spring Baptist Church Cemetery off US 127. Several court clerks in Kentucky are now refusing to issue any marriage licenses as an objection to the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling allowing same-sex marriage. Casey County Clerk Casey Davis says his religious convictions will not allow him to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. He says his office is no longer issuing licenses to any couples. Clerks in Rowan and Lawrence counties have also stopped issuing marriage licenses. Coming up on WKYT News at 6, you'll hear from the Jackson County Judge Executive, who's also now refusing to marry any more couples. A vacation ends in tragedy for a Lexington family when a mother drowns near Myrtle Beach. 52-year-old Lori Davison was pulled from the ocean yesterday in Garden City, South Carolina. Investigators say she drowned in the ocean after a riptide pulled her underwater. Davison was a longtime employee at the Salado Wildlife Center in Frankfort. Her staff says they'll miss her passion for wildlife and people.
She wanted to make sure that everyone knew that they could enjoy the outdoors as much as she did. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone, not just those that traditionally grew up enjoying the outdoors, camping and hunting and fishing, but those that maybe have never tried it.
Davison leaves behind her partner and 2 young children, a boy and a girl. We'll have more coming up on WKYT News at 5. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Amber Philpott is in the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Amber.
Good afternoon to you, Jennifer. A Lexington mother is in jail after police say she left her 5-month-old son alone in a car. 25-year-old Jamie Ivy faces several charges, including endangering the welfare of a minor. Police say they found her yesterday morning passed out in the driver's seat of a stolen car on Fiddler Creek Way. She reportedly told police she didn't know how she ended up in that car. Police found her infant in the back seat of a different car. They say the child was alone in that car for at least 2 hours. Well, thanks to donations from the community, some dogs at a Lexington shelter are now some of the coolest in town. Fayette Heating and Air installed a new AC unit this morning at the Lexington Humane Society. The center's AC unit in the dog's kennel broke last week. They reached out to the public, and within just 24 hours, they were able to raise the $35,000 needed to replace the AC system. We'll take you to the Humane Society coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. That is a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Amber. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. A 3-week manhunt for escaped convicted killers is over. Now investigators are focused on learning more about how they escaped. David Sweat, the only surviving fugitive, is in serious condition right now in the hospital after being shot by a New York State trooper yesterday. Emily Schmidt reports on what Sweat is saying about the escape.
With the end of the manhunt story clear, the rest of the story is starting to emerge from prisoner turned fugitive turned captured hospital patient David Sweat.
Our investigators are very keenly interested in what he might have to say, not only as it pertains to his escape, and the Department of Corrections, of course, would follow up on that, but from my perspective, how he managed to elude capture for the last 23 days.
It lasted 23 days, but I think it probably felt like 23 weeks to most people.
Sweat was just 2 miles from Canada with camouflage gear, maps, tools, bug repellent, even Pop-Tarts when he was spotted and ran off. He was alone. The other escapee, Richard Matt, was killed Friday.
These were very dangerous individuals.
Absolutely.
And that no one got hurt and no law enforcement got hurt, that was a big deal.
A source close to the investigation tells CNN David Sweat is talking from his hospital bed about a scheme for prison employee Joyce Mitchell to pick up the prisoners and head to Mexico. When Mitchell didn't show up, the pair improvised and stuck together until 5 days ago when Sweat said Matt was slowing him down. Sweat's mother says it's a relief to see the search end.
He's been in jail all this time. He should have just stayed there instead of leaving with that other guy.
Sweat's current life sentence is now likely to include years in solitary confinement, paying for his days on the run. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
A law enforcement source says after Richard Matt was killed, authorities could smell alcohol on his body from a few feet away. And the FBI has just launched an investigation into the Clinton Correctional Facility for possible drug trafficking and corruption. Recent attacks overseas have prompted new concerns here at home about a July 4th terror threat. 3 attacks believed to be ISIS-inspired in France, Tunisia, and Kuwait were carried out last Friday. July 4th is a time of celebration in the U.S., but the Department of Homeland Security says for terrorists, it's a symbolic date when attacks could be launched. Officials say they adjust security measures, seen and unseen, as needed to protect the American people. Another teenager has been attacked by a shark in North Carolina. A 17-year-old was bitten over the weekend while swimming in the Outer Banks. He's now recovering at a hospital in Norfolk, Virginia. This is the 6th shark attack in North Carolina in the past 2 weeks. A man lost part of his leg Friday in the Outer Banks. Earlier in the month, 2 teenagers lost part of their arms in separate shark attacks on the same day near Oak Island.
The latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Major losses today on Wall Street. The Dow plunged 350 points to close at 17,596. The Nasdaq dropped 122 and the S&P 44. Prices at the pump are down ahead of the 4th of July holiday weekend. According to GasBuddy.com, the national average is $2.79 for a gallon of regular. That's down 2 cents over the past 2 weeks and down 89 cents from this time last year. Here in Kentucky, the statewide average is a little lower at $2.72 a gallon. The lowest price we found was $2.29 in the far western part of the state, while the highest is $2.99 in northern Kentucky. Drivers in Lexington are paying anywhere between $2.59 and $2.79 a gallon. Some Krogers will soon let customers do their grocery shopping without getting out of the car. Kroger plans to install its Click List online ordering system at up to 1,200 stores nationwide, including 60 this year. That's about 45% of Kroger stores. Customers can shop online for more than 40,000 items, including fresh meat and produce, select a pickup date and time, then pay and pick up the items from their car. We've reached out to Kroger to try to find out if any Kentucky locations will have online ordering, but so far they haven't responded. Fruit is getting a facelift on produce shelves in Europe, and the new look could be headed to the U.S. Jonathan Vigliotti explains.
Shoppers have to look twice before even noticing.
That looks good, I like that.
Fruits, once weighed down by those frumpy stickers,
They don't always come off that easy.
now sport a sleeker look. It's called the laser label.
This is not a melon anymore. It's a branded melon. It's a melon that has its own mark.
Stefan Merritt says labels are etched onto melons and citrus fruits using a dye that is safe and won't break the skin.
You could even on each of these melons have their own number, its own traceability number.
It's an idea that was born out of an identity crisis of sorts. When a piece of fruit loses its sticker, you can't trace it back to where it was grown. Merritt says grocers frequently pass off cheap fruit as organic. He says laser labels protect against that and stop shoppers from cheating the system.
Customers were swapping labels between cheap and expensive labels. And that happens more than we think.
Not everyone likes the new look.
But I don't think it's a good idea because you don't play around with fruit. You should just stick to it, that's it, keep it normal.
European regulators disagree. They're allowing lasered fruit in France, Spain, and Poland, with more countries lining up for this taste of the future. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, London.
The Food and Drug Administration has not yet given the green light for producers in the U.S. to use those laser labels. Thank you, Don. This is a big week for 32 young women who hope to be crowned the next Miss Kentucky. Deanne Stevens is out and about today. Campus where the contestants have just moved in. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys, from the SAE house here on the University of Kentucky campus. I bet the guys in SAE wish that they were here this week. Look at all these beautiful Miss Kentucky contestants. I bet y'all wish they were here too, don't you?
We do, we do. It would be nice to have a little bit of company.
I would say so, and some good-looking company. It's a big week for all of these young ladies. They are hoping to be the next Miss Kentucky. Ramsey Carpenter with us, and Miss Kentucky Teen Kennedy is with us as well. This is a fun week for you guys now because you already got your crown on your head, right?
That's true. We don't really have the stress of it. We get to experience everything stress-free.
And you're going to be here all week, Kennedy, and I understand you're performing during the pageant this weekend. Talk a bit about that, and do you look up to these young ladies and hope one day you're competing for that crown too?
I do. My dream has always been to become Miss America, so hopefully one day I will become Miss Kentucky. And actually on Saturday, July 4th, I will be performing my talent that I will be performing at Miss America's Outstanding Teen in Orlando on August 1st.
Okay, well, you can be a part of the pageant, and it's happening this weekend here on campus, Singletary Center for the Arts. What are you guys doing here? You look like you're hard at work. Coloring? What are you all doing?
We are making crafts for the children at the Children's Hospital.
How cool is that? You guys get to spend the week getting to know one another, practicing for the pageant, but doing things for others. Talk a bit about that.
Well, I think it's very exciting that we're going to go to the Children's Hospital and the VA hospitals this week, and it lets us bond as a group, and there's 31 of us wonderful ladies, and it lets us give back to our community.
Well, that's really what it's all about. And it's not just about putting a crown on your head, is it, ladies? We can ask these 5 quality of life contestants. What is quality of life contestant?
Well, the Quality of Life Award is something that highlights the women here that, sorry.
No, you're doing great.
Well, it's something that just shows that this is a lot more than volume in the hair and beautiful dresses, that we are all committed to a personal platform, and we really dedicate ourselves to our community, raising awareness to it, and this award shows
that you're doing that. Okay, we're going to talk to the rest of the Quality of Life winners as well. And don't forget, the pageant is this weekend here at the Singletary Center for the Arts. 7 o'clock is the final pageant on Saturday night. More with our Miss Kentucky contestants. You guys say, make it a great day. Hey, I bet they're not this quiet normally. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
It's time for Better Living, health education and consumer news that impacts your life. The American Academy of Pediatrics has issued new recommendations to help fight obesity in children. Parents are encouraged to buy fewer sugar-sweetened drinks and high-calorie snacks and to cut back on the number of TV sets in the home. Families are also encouraged to engage in physical activities for at least an hour a day. Data on about 30,000 kindergartners suggests preventive dental care from primary care doctors can improve oral health for children. Researchers found this was especially true in communities with little access to dentists. We'll break out the Scooby snacks. Time Warner is remaking classic cartoons such as Scooby-Doo and Bugs Bunny as it looks for a bigger piece of the children's television business. The Wall Street Journal says it's part of a deal with Warner Brothers Animation and the Boomerang Network. The new Scooby series is called Be Cool, Scooby-Doo.